you don't have the Celery Ench just kind of terrorizing you the whole game. So I'm sure it's going to be a much better time.
Yeah, definitely. And we already see Gaming Gladiators smoking, and there's something that they used to do during the DPC. They would smoke and they would try to get like good wards out to be able to get the right laning setup that they want. And they blocked this hard camp too.
Beautiful. Silvery already trying to get that impact going. The smoke, it doesn't seem like it's going to lead to too much here for either side. They're just going to kind of relax and sit back and just wait it out a little bit. Team Spirit, they are holding the high ground for now, but doesn't quite seem like they're quite interested in trying to go for a fight.
So the interesting thing is that both games, I feel like Gaming Gladiators kind of addressed this Keeper of the Light. First game, like they used the Monkey King that can dodge the blast. In this game, they have a Bloodseeker that can, he can sustain with the Thirst.
Right.
So in a way, this Coddle Harass doesn't seem like as a big of a deal. So I think that's a really cool way of thinking about how to enable a good lane versus Coddle.
How about after the lane, though? Like, I have my doubts when it comes to POS 1 Bloodseeker. I know I was kind of telling you about it just earlier about how much I hate this hero in the POS 1 role. Do you think it kind of fits? Do you think it'll work against Team Spirit?
Just a quick, Dyrachyo does win the 1v1 rune fight. Maybe we'll get a quick picture of him. Camera feed, I mean. But the Bloodseeker, it is a bit of a weird hero for me as a position 1, because I honestly don't know his power spikes as well as some of the other heroes. Usually, you see this like Maelstrom into BKB, and it feels like he does a lot of damage, but he's like one fight away from being like absolutely worthless. So it is a bit of an anomaly for me, but I do see the purpose this game just against the Coddle and also against the Sanking. I think if they did send the Sanking offlane, he would struggle a lot.
That's fair enough. You see Dyrachyo right now. He's having a pretty darn good time. I mean, Collapse, he's playing Doom, but against the Bloodseeker IO, it is going to be a bit of a rough affair, I'm sure, even with the Keeper of the Light behind you. See what he can get done. Of course, maybe we can have hold on a minute, a bit of a creep pull coming out, Mira. It's a very long creep pull going on here just to drag it back the way of Collapse, and a very nice attempt here from Celery to try and pull it back the other way, just being very annoying on the IO, and look at that. Gets it onto the medium camp, and that's just going to be... I guess you could still farm it, but it just seems a little bit frustrating here for Spirit.
Yeah, so the creeps don't actually aggro into the medium camp. It was just Collapse kind of sticking around.
Oh,
right. I think they're thinking about farming it together. That's what they're doing here with the Coddle. But either way, Celery is just being annoying, while Dyrachyo is just getting free XP in the bottom lane. He's going to be level 3 by the time both Doom and Coddle are going to be level 2, and that's a big deal.
Do you think it's worth it for them to make that kind of greedy play on Team Spirit, knowing that the Bloodseeker is going to get that level 3 mark very early?
I think if Dyrachyo is able to punish them, which he is right now, like he's getting these right clicks off, and he might even dive this.
Oh, Collapse. He's getting very low. Dyrachyo, he'll go for the dive in. One more hit will do it, and he's got first blood. Oh, you love to see it here for Gaimin Gladiators as Boom. He'll give him a tip from the mid lane. What another great start. I believe it was Dyrachyo who got first blood last game around as well.
Yeah, fantastic start for them. Just really well played by Dyrachyo, recognizing when he can actually commit for this kind of kill. And I do want to mention that Collapse got the Mana Burn creep, which is actually one of the best creeps you can get on Doom. I think there's like Ice Armor, there's the Harpy, but Mana Burn is also one of the best ones. It's 50 mana with an 18-second cooldown, and you burn 100 mana. It's very, very powerful in lane.
It does feel that way. See what he can get done with it. At least for now, maybe we have a look at the other lanes. Of course, mid lane, top lane. We haven't really looked at either one too much, but there's your mid lane. Toronto, Tokyo, and Boom going at it. From the matchups I've seen, it generally feels quite difficult to go against the Sand King. So, Boom, he's doing a fantastic job so far in terms of CS. It hasn't felt like Toronto, Tokyo able to kind of force Boom out of this lane.
Yeah, I think both heroes are gonna trade farm. But in a way, Sand King is usually able to push out the lane faster, and that means he's able to connect to a small camp faster. So I feel like he should be able to slightly win on the farm, basically.
And of course, that final lane, top lane, Maposhka and Yatoro against Pofu and Ace here. So far, very, very good time here for Ace. In fact, Yatoro is actually only on 9 CS. I suppose there's always that threat of copying the spear into the arrow and Because if you do cop that double stun, there's not much you can do. Just like there's not much Mirror can do right now. Dyrachyo just chasing him down with that crazy movement speed. And, I guess this goes back to that early level 3 timing you talked about. Like, he's just had such a great start on this Bloodseeker.
And yeah, you can see that Miposhka was like super low in the top lane. And Dyrachyo uses that movement speed to his advantage. And you know, Io was like super happy being tethered to this quick guy. And I was like, oh, I'm zooming. I'm a, you know, zoom-in disco ball. So it's kind of a cute combo that, now that you think about it, makes sense.
Certainly does. Collapse. Look at this. I mean, how do you lane against this? Dyrachyo is just going to chase him down.
Oh, this is a disaster. Like, they last picked this Doom. They know what they're laning against, and this is what happens. This is... I don't think Collapse is used to this. He usually wins his lane.
It's a very rough affair here. Collapse. We'll see what he can recover, but look at Mirror. You can't even walk up.
I think he's dead.
He might just be gone. Mirror? Oh, yeah, see you later, Mirror.
This is a massacre in the bottom lane, and he's even... On his career, Dyrachyo is bringing an Orb of Venom. He's recognizing that this is a slaughter lane, and they're just going to keep killing them. Like, they're going to have to TP out anytime this Bloodseeker runs at them.
He's literally just walking up to them and hitting them. Just nothing necessary. No stuns required. Just walk up and hit them. That's what's Dyrachyo doing, and it's working out very well as a Collapse. He's not even laning anymore. He's just going to keep pulling the creep wave over and try to be a bit of a nuisance that way, but... It feels like any moment now, Dyrachyo is just going to make his way over to go for a gank attempt. Speaking of mid lane, they are going to make the jump in. Toronto, Tokyo. He's going to be okay within the Sandstorm for now, but there's your Remnants out, and they will be able to find the kill. Boom. Able to take one for himself. Is now Collapse. He's going to try onto Celery, but here comes Dyrachyo. It's all a bait into the Rupture. Collapse. Oh, they're not even going to find the IO.
Oh my goodness, everything is going wrong for Team Spirit right now. It's another fantastic start for Gaimin Gladiators safe lane. And look at Dyrachyo, he's just invading. He's like, yo, get out of here. You're not allowed to stack HODL. No.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically stacking for Dyrachyo right now by the looks of it. Chains out, Toronto going to cop the arrow as well here from the Mirana, but they aren't going to be able to follow up. Boom. Just wanted to get that regen rune up top, but Miposhka does end up getting it himself.
Salvaging by Miposhka for sure. If Ember gets this rune, the snowball continues. But now they do buy themselves a bit of time. Like, Ember has to heal up. Dyrachyo's back to the bottom lane. So they're getting a little bit of breathing space. But it's looking very grim. Like, they brought Collapse up to the top lane. Like, this is a real struggle.
It certainly is. It's just such a rough affair. Tell me, I mean, Fly, if you were part of Team Spirit, right? In fact, hold that thought, because we are going to see a Spear flying out onto Collapse, so no matter where he goes, he's not going to be able to get some creeps. But if you were part of Team Spirit right now, what would you be telling the team? Like, how would you try to recover from this start?
So, if I was this Wyvern right now, I'd be like, don't worry, guys, it's all good. I got the regen rune. I would, you know, I would stick on the little positive things that have happened, right? I will try to emphasize the good. Like, you know, our TA is pre-farming, guys, you know, like, don't look at the Doom. It's fine. He's got the Midas speed up. So, he's going to die, though, for his positivity here.
Yeah, it didn't sound too convincing either, I've got to tell you, Fly, as Miposhka. Enjoy. I guess now that he's dead, he can be even more positive. More time to talk.
Yeah, and they're doing such a good job invading. Like, Celery's tethered up to Boom, recognizing that bottom lane does not need help anymore, and he can play around this Ember. And you can kind of see also, like, the havoc they've done by just simply poking their head into the enemy triangle. You can see that now, like, there's sentries being spammed in the area as Collapse dies, unfortunately, again.
Was that a solo kill? From Tofu?
I actually missed that, but he is going to dive here with the arena.
Yeah, Miposhka, he's going to try and juke this one out. Ace should have surely an easy kill, but maybe just assuming Miposhka's already backed off, we'll actually leave the Winter Wyvern for now. Looks like the focus is going to be in the mid lane where Toronto, Tokyo are going to cop it, chains into an arrow, but the arrow doesn't land, and now the Burrow Strike into the epicenter. They turn around perfectly. Toronto, he's still going to drop, and here comes Dyrachyo. That's the man you can't really handle right now. Collapse, he's still going to move in with the Arc Lightning, trying to get something for his team, but they will find nothing apart from Tofu to go down, but they still found the mid-sanking.
That was scary. That arrow missing could have spelled some really bad news, but it does end up being okay. And The good news is that Miposhka is able to kind of hold top for now, defend this tower, and I want to point out that he's actually maxing out his Arctic Burn, which recently got buffed. So it's kind of a different build than what we're used to seeing in a Wyvern, where you usually get the Splinter Blast, and we're going to see this kill top lane.
I mean, this is just, that's demoralizing. Oof. That is demoralizing.
That is beautiful. Well done by Tofu. Fantastic hair, fantastic arrows. Enjoyable.
Yeah. It collapsed. It's level 5 right now. It doesn't even have the level 6 up 9 minutes in it to... I mean, what can you do? He's gone bot lane, didn't work out, moves top lane, they're still harassing him, just chasing him down, and I think that's kind of the story here for Gaimin Gladiators in this series, right? Is they're just... They smother you. They get a little bit of an advantage after the laning stage, and then they just smother you.
Exactly. Like, this team is a team that wants to play on pressure. Usually when I see them, they want to play fast. They don't really enjoy sitting back and just farming. They're trying to invade, they're trying to take away from the enemy. And you can see it clearly in both games. They came in with a plan, and they're executing very well right now.
They are. Kind of aggression they can find here. I mean, they are still kind of roaming the map, trying to find themselves a target. Well, we've seen Boom and Tofu doing some great work on that Ember Mirana combo. In fact, speaking of, there's going to be an arrow to fly out, but the Burrow Strike from Toronto is going to be there. They will be able to get the regen rune once again, this time on Team Spirit. The Ember getting very unlucky here with the power runes.
I'm not sure if I saw that right, but it looked like he got his Maelstrom like 3 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that earlier than the average, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, there you go. That is crazy. Wow. How farmed this guy is at this stage of the game, and he's farming a big Ancient stack too. Or, well, almost dying. Okay, Steroids here. Okay.
That's impressive. Doom gonna fly out. They've at least got Ace. Tries to go for a cheeky deny into the neutrals, but that's not gonna work out. So Collapse able to get involved and get something going, and I guess with the start he's had, every time that Doom's off cooldown, you've just got to get some kind of kill.
Yeah, I think they take anything they can get, even if they have to expend both Doom and the Sand ultimate. I'm fine with that. And immediately GG is like, you know, they use their spells. Let's go. It's time to go, boys.
Yeah, mid lane. Mira gonna cop it. Miposhka, he's gonna show up on the Winter Wyvern, trying to help out his team. He does have the curse available, so they aren't gonna dive too far. Dyrachyo still trying with Toronto Tokyo, going for a burrow, but it's not gonna land. And now the arena. It's a very nice structure being placed by Ace in the mid lane. I think he just wanted to remember what his ultimate looked like. Testing it out.
Ooh, that's very well played by Miposhka. He kind of sat around the trees, and he was playing around with them. And they also understood on Gaimin Gladiators that, you know, they could get cursed and potentially set up for another stun by the Sand King. So well done on both teams, kind of recognizing how far to push their limits.
Absolutely. Team Spirit, I mean, still 3k behind, but they've got plenty of time to try and catch their way up into this game number 2 and try to force a draw here. You look at that net worth graph, though; it's a bit of a rough affair. All the side of Gaimin Gladiators, apart from the TA, and I guess that is the one saving grace, is Yatoro has indeed been hitting creeps in the jungle. Problem is, though, when you see a TA, you usually see them at the top of the net worth board, just kind of skyrocketing, but that just has not been the case. And speaking of Collapse, well, he certainly has been skyrocketing this game. He's in big trouble with the Rupture out, nowhere to go. They'll try with the Cold Embrace, but it does nothing. And Dyrachyo, he thought about a chase, but he won't bother. He'll let Miposhka go now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Team Spirit were very good. They were doing a good job of like getting that one kill and then not getting punished for it in the mid lane. That was a huge win for them, because they just bought a lot of time for Yatoro to catch up, because the state of the game is obviously, you know, very Gaimin Gladiators favored. So Yatoro still kind of keeping up in net worth, I think is pretty commendable. Like, he hasn't been caught out yet, and they've been able to sort of protect where he's farming.
It's been a good old deal here as bot lane. Tofu, cop the Meld Strike, will go for the Moonlight Shadow, but the chase is still on. In fact, now the rotations. Dyrachyo is coming in, and they've got the TA. That's the one hero you don't want to lose right now on Team Spirit, but Yatoro is getting ripped a new one here by Dyrachyo as they actually relocate out. Tofu's going to try and jump in and save the day.
Oh my goodness.
And they still get him. Bit of a rough affair though there for GG.
A bit of a miscalculation.
Nicely done.
Nicely done indeed. That was a bit of a miscalculation, but you know, they'll still take it. Mirana for TA. I'm still happy with that overall.
Radiant's middle tower is under
It's
attack.
certainly a great trade, and it's for Team Spirit, the TAs, that the only thing that's kind of working out for them. Or
No
collapse.
TPN collapse.
Yeah, he's gonna get ruptured. It's one of those games where you're falling this far behind, you just start to kind of get a little bit upset with yourself, and you forget about the little things, and well, you're using that TP like that a bit rough, and that's the 5th death of the game now for the Doom. Look at this.
We're gonna see this bottom go again.
I mean, it would have been pretty sick had they timed it perfectly, let's be fair.
Yeah.
They were definitely going for the cool guy play.
Yeah, the cool guys don't look at explosions. Yep.
Whoops.
Just turn and walk away. Guys. Guys.
Oh, Yator, he's still not happy about it, naturally. The celery.
It's like, whoop.
Yeah, sorry, boys.
Sorry, Tofu. But yeah, Collapse is definitely struggling in this game, and there's not that much he can do in his position. Like, he has a Midas, right? Like, he's just hoping for a Sanking to stun something so he can get the Doom off. But he is getting close to his dagger, and that's when we might see Team Spirit try to go for like a play. I don't think they want to straight up 5v5 though. I think Gaming Gladiators is a little too ahead for that.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a 3-man smoke out now as well from Gaimin. You've got the mech available on Celery to make matters worse, so it just feels like even in a great team fight with that extra heal on the IO, it's just going to make it so much more difficult as Collapse. Not again! Leave this poor Doom alone!
Ooh, missed spear though, without the arena.
They do miss. Ace, a little bit greedy there not to just drop the arena for the guaranteed spear connection, but nevertheless, Team Spirit, they are rotating down to try and find something of their own. Tofu, he'll try to leap out, but Toronto Tokyo is going to be there with the Burrow Strike. But it's not enough. The relocate is out.
No.
Oh, a great curse. They do at least lock down one. Celery gonna get taken down by Dyrachyo, but in they go. Bloodrite is there. They've got the Doom out. Collapse. I mean, he's gonna get cold and braced up, but it's only gonna delay the inevitable as Dyrachyo will continue to chase him down and eventually take him out. Towards the north as well. They have found Maposhka. Boom. Finding more. Mirror. He's going to be alright for now, but boom, he's not done yet. A great chains out within the fog into the arrow. That'll be a double.
He's out of mana here. They recognize this with DDTA coming in. This Boom might be dead.
Oh, it's a massive kill if they can get it, and they will, surely, with the Sleight of Fist down. It does buy a little bit of time, but not enough. Toronto, he'll be the one to take it to the Sand King, but it kind of reminds you of Game 1. Like, right now for Team Spirit, you just need any kind of kill you can get, and that's a big one.
Yeah, that's very good for Yatoro. He's going to have his Desolator picked up, going in for either BKB or Blink next. We'll see. It looks like he has the BKB queued up. But yeah, we see the replay here. That was a very nice curse, and that's exactly why you pick Wyvern versus IO. So if the IO ever relocates in, you have this window to actually catch somebody.
You see Mira looking very, very stressed there. It's been a very tough series so far here for Spirit. Dyrachyo keeping that farm up. And it is one of those things, I mean, you just pointed out, like, as the IO, you've got to be so careful about where this Winter Wyvern is, because it's just a guaranteed death every time you get cursed near Dyrachyo right now. Chances are things aren't going to get much better for him if he does continue to get cursed there on the IO, but it does give Team Spirit a very nice way of trying to come back in this game number 2. Even with this 4K deficit, they still have plenty of opportunity to try and make their way back as Dyrachyo.
They have this cliff ward here. They see everything, and he has a BKB and Dyrachyo. This is definitely their fight, unless he gets doomed, which they still don't have up. So it looks like it's just going to be Mira left for dead.
Is he, though?
Or is he?
Yeah, he's TPing out.
Wait,
oh, no. They spear him up. Nice try.
Yeah, and this opens up Roche for them.
Here we go. Roshan number 1 for game number 2. Underway now by Gaimin Gladiators. And Team Spirit, it does feel like they need to try and fight this, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like they really can.
Yeah, it's again a case of just it's showcasing Team Spirit's discipline, because I think they're one of the best teams, and like I said this earlier, they're very good at cutting losses. They know that this is not their fight, and if they take this fight, there's maybe a 10%, maybe 20% chance they win it, and they don't like those odds. I think they're a team that's very calculated in their moves, so I think sacrificing this Roche is okay.
I certainly agree. As the Aegis now up on Boom, he wants to get even more aggressive here on this Ember. Start with that mid-tier 1 tower first. We'll go ahead and take care of it himself as Team Spirit. Definitely don't want to get too involved here against the Gaimin Gladiators right now, especially with that Aegis up. It's all about the avoid game here, but GG. I suppose they're just going to move into the Dire jungle and... Well, it looks like they're up towards the top lane now. Yeah, pick someone else off. Maybe just slow down a little bit, but it just seems like there's no rush for Gaimin at the moment. Like, they've got a clear lead and they just don't need to throw it away.
I think, yeah, they're definitely happy with the state of the game. And now also with the BKB on Bloodseeker, if they do reload in and he pops the BKB right away, the Wyvern, even if he curses IO, the Bloodseeker is not going to be affected by it. So there's some safety net if they communicate well on Gaimin Gladiators.
Absolutely. You see Dyrachyo, he's going for that basher up next as well to make matters worse than the Bloodseeker. Chances are, I mean, the TP away was your only real option to try and get away from this man, but chances are that's not going to work either as Gaimin smoked up. Ace on the front lines along with Boom, trying to find himself a target. They'll move into the triangle with quite a bit of confidence here. They didn't have the vision initially, but they won't get punished for it. They just understand how far ahead they are right now, and well, that Dire triangle, it's basically theirs.
Yeah, and Team Spirit is very patient when they're not seeing anything on the map. They're kind of waiting it out. Like, you can see them just hiding near the towers. Like, Etoro's hiding, Collapse is kind of hiding. They're just waiting to get more information so they can decide what to do with this.
Find one. Oro is trying to farm up that Ancient stack, and it does seem like they actually back off at the exact wrong time. Just missing out on the TA attempt. Again, Gaimin Gladiators just seem more than happy to keep that farm going. And Dyrachyo just so much further ahead than anyone else in terms of net worth.
They're looking to make a play top here.
Team Spirit, this could be huge for them if they can find Dyrachyo, but the BKB out immediately, and now the turnaround, they've got the Rupture out. Gerst is there to hold them down, the Bloodseeker, but Yatoro, he's going to try and fight back. He'll man up. Dyrachyo still going. Yatoro, he'll try. Dyrachyo's getting a bit too low, though. He's going to drop. Yatoro does manage to pick one up, and now they might be able to clean up. Onto Boom they go. Collapse. He will be able to surely get this Ember. They will get the Aegis down. Tofu will leap his way out as Yatoro. Still being chased here by Ace.
They're buying back for this. They're going to want to save Yatoro here.
They're going to try. Yatoro is going to survive as they do move their way in. Maposhka going to keep up the vision. But who do they want to jump? Chains out. Boom. They don't want to have a dieback here on this Sand King, but he's going to be all right for now. Toronto look to back his way out as the Burrow Strike is there. Spirit Vessel will tick him out. Boom. Going to keep going for more as Yatoro. He'll keep trying to fight back, but it's not enough.
That was a crazy fight. Like, the Dyrachyo was still not able to man-fight this TA, and like, I like how they timed this BKB and TA, because he had the Dragonlance, he disassembled for that fight, and he just had his BKB. So that was almost a really good fight for Team Spirit, but we're gonna get a replay of that because that was a crazy fight.
I mean, what did you think about the buybacks here from Spirit? I mean, obviously Toronto Tokyo didn't end up buying back. You see him just kind of getting his way out of there and reinitiating later on, but do you think the buybacks were really worth it here from Spirit to try and force the fight?
I think they saw that the TA was kind of left alone, and Miposhka made the call that it's worth it for him to buy back if the TA lives. But unfortunately, you know, the TA still goes down. It was a bit of a tough call. I think the buyback was a decent idea in theory. You can see it here. It looks like he might have a chance to survive on Yatoro if they run away right now. And you can kind of see how, like, both teams are trying to play with each other. It could have gone either way, really.
It could have been very game-changing there for Spirit had they managed to kind of turn that team fight around and keep Yatoro alive. But you see Toronto just going to tick out, and eventually Yatoro just going to be taken out, as well as excited faces there from Gaimin. Not so much from T-Spirit, though, unfortunately. Very focused.
Under attack.
We get back into the game. There's a smoke by Gaimin Gladiators. There's a DD and a Lincoln's finish on Boom. So this Ember Spirit is an absolute monster.
Very, very concerning signs here. Spirit trying to avoid it. The gank attempt coming out now from Gaimin, and they are going to do so successfully. No one around at the top lane, and they're just going to, again, hang around in their own triangle, grouped up, and they're actually going to go for a 5-man smoke. They're feeling I suppose confident enough to try and make this happen, but there's a double damage rune activated now on Boom. This could be terrible timing. It's a lot of damage.
There's a BKB and collapse. Let's see if they get the jump up on them here.
Gonna try, but who do they aim first? And they go, Boom. Already breaking the smoke, but backing off in time. Collapse, he has not found the Doom he wanted. In fact, Durancio gonna chase him down. Collapse, he's gonna get the curse out just in time to try and save Collapse. He's gonna get that Doom out in time. He does get it onto Boom, but is it good enough? It doesn't seem like it. Yatoro, he's gonna try and back his way out, but the bash comes out from the Bloodseeker. They'll just keep chasing down. Yatoro, Toronto, back onto Durancio, but he's fine. He'll back his way out himself. Even with the Solar Bind, he's surviving. Sillery couldn't keep him alive long enough, but Boom, he's still alive. He'll move in, back onto Yatoro. The TA trying to fight back, but it's not going to be good enough. They've just got way too much control. In fact, Boom, he's not done yet. He wants the full team wipe, and he's going to get it.
Boom's the real carry.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of is, eh? He kind of is.
What a monster performance by Boom. This guy is playing out of his mind. The instant sleight of fist as soon as the smoke pops, like he absolutely like makes the fight happen for them, just by like getting that fast reaction. Those fast fingers. It was beautiful.
It certainly was. Gaimin, I mean, they're just every game they've played so far, it just looks so easy for them at the moment. As Maposhka chains out, look at the damage. One sleight of fist, he's already lost 1/3 of his HP. This is one of those games as a support where you just don't feel very good going up against a good Ember Spirit play like Boom.
No, this guy is a menace for everyone involved in this game. He's just destroying everyone, and he's gonna have a Shivas like pretty soon actually, which is crazy.
Very, very rough. Rupture is there. Speaking of rough, Toronto.
He's like, goodbye world, let me just get one stun in before I go. Farewell.
He died on his own terms. I think that's all that matters here. So.
Yeah, Toronto is also having kind of a rough game. I don't think he's been able to find any good epicenter openings or anything like that. And that's something that does happen when one of your lanes go this bad as it did in the bottom lane, because that means certain heroes are freed up in the game, right? This Io was free to run around with this Ember and help him check the runes, help him invade. So one lane losing can quickly snowball another lane into losing as well.
There goes that T2 mid tower. No defense to come out from Spirit. I think K net worth deficit now for the side of Spirit as well. Is there another item timing fly that we could perhaps wait for Spirit to be able to kind of go for a big 5-man smoke or look for a good team fight perhaps?
So I'm definitely looking at this refresher on the Doom, because that does give them a potential double Doom, which can always turn a game around, right? So I think that's the main thing, and then a BKB in Toronto, Tokyo, so we can potentially get a good epicenter in, which we haven't really seen this game so far. So that's what I'm looking at for Team Spirit.
It's important. Let's feel they're going to try and make that work. Right now is a bit of time just hiding away from Gaimin Gladiators and just not trying to show on the map at the moment. They still control the map, but I suppose as long as you've got to just play cat and mouse here for Team Spirit, it's good enough to drag the game out.
Look at the ward on the top area. This is a very sneaky ward that they placed there. It's like a Tinker ward, I call them. And they did see both Yatoro and Mira up here. So they're actually on the hunt.
That ward seems to be off the map, though.
Yeah, you can place them on certain cliffs. We do have a Rupture going on mid on Yatoro, but I'm not sure if they can commit for this.
Doesn't seem like they will. They'll back off.
So I think it's pretty cool to mention that Mira did go for the shard this game, for the recall. So his entire plan is trying to TP Yatoro around to be able to farm the map. And that's what he did top lane. He TP'd Yatoro there, and then Yatoro TP'd mid when there was danger. But now, Gaimin Gladiators do go for the Roshan. Roshan is up. And having Aegis versus Doom is just so valuable.
It's so hard to play into it, rather. You commit to Doom, the Agent Spies, who the hell cares? I mean, at least they give it to Durancio, and I thought they would give it to Boom, quite frankly, on the Ember.
So I think having Aegis and Durancio is good, because I think he might be the hero that hits towers, and you generally, you know, they're gonna look to stun the guy who's hitting your tower, which is Dyrachyo in this game.
Right.
He also got the shard on the Bloodseeker, which is kind of a weird shard. Like usually you don't buy this, so I'm kind of curious how this plays out, because you know you deal pure damage of the target's max health.
Seems like one of those shards you get when you're just snowballing. Just that added kind of cherry on top. The already cake that they have here on gaming.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking maybe versus Cold Embrace this might be quite valuable. Maybe that's the thinking. Because otherwise I would have liked to see the shard on Ace on the Mars.
Toro be chased down mid lane. He'll pop his BKB and just TP right out.
There's a bash
Oh, there's the bash out. Dyrachyo getting lucky enough, and boom, he'll hand the tip over.
It's fine.
It's never a good feeling to get bashed mid TP like that.
Miposhka's down here. He might be able to catch Celery. Well, they are going top lane though on Toronto.
Yeah, take down the Sand King, a much more valuable target. Dyrachyo, he'll take the bottom tier 2 tower as Miposhka. He's staring from the tree line, but even if you get the IO, it doesn't really feel like it matters right now. Dyrachyo, I mean, maybe you could commit to this.
I love how Celery's just playing just out of range of being cursed into like and dying to Dyrachyo. He's like just on the, you know, the cusp.
Dyrachyo, keep going. Boom.
Oh,
move
nice
in.
spear.
Great spear out. Ace setting up. Miposhka's gone. And there goes the tier 3 tower. I don't see them backing off. There's just no buybacks on the 2 cores that are down right now for Spirit.
All right, so we got Refresher on Doom. They're gonna have to let this Rax go, but if Gaimin decides to go for the second set of Rax, I do think they're gonna set up for a fight here, possibly with a buyback from the Wyvern. I think this is their one chance to surprise with this Refresher. They have to go for it. He smokes himself on Collapse. Let's watch.
See what happens. Collapse. Looking for that big initiation. There's your Toro. There's Toronto. They're going to go in with the Epicenter. They'll try for the Mars first. There's your Doom out. They should have the Mars controlled up by Celery. He'll save the day as Collapse. Trying to get the secondary Doom, but he couldn't get it off in time. That'll be the second one wasted as Toronto. He's going to drop. They haven't even found the Mars. They find nothing for all this trouble. This Boom, he'll just keep going. Onto the Wyvern now. They'll find another. Miposhka is forced to curse up just to get away, and he's not even going to be able to do that. So Yatoro just trying to get back towards the fountain, but GG's called. That's the only way out of this game. And I'll tell you what, Fly, Gaimin Gladiators, they are looking powerful. They made this matchup look easy.
Yeah, that was a sick performance by Gaimin Gladiators. Both games completely one-sided, all stemming from that safe lane. Like both games, Collapse just was not able to play Dota at all.
I think it's the Steve Aoki buff here for Gaimin Gladiators. They're just a very attractive man right there, and it's obviously working out very well for them here on Gaimin. Again, a fantastic performance. And what are the standouts for you, Fly? Like, what is it about this team you've noticed during this series that you think really places them apart from